From what I was able to figure out, the plan was always to have Ulquiorra and the new Ichigo trailers drop today. Now, if you were here last week, the Ulquiorra trailer dropped early, but it's not because of this leak that we're getting a different one today, which breaks a rule that I'm kinda glad they're breaking. That means that we might get even more than one character trailer every week. I don't think this is gonna be the rule, but they might break it here and there. And now that we have a release date, early 2025, we can start to put the roster number between 30 and maybe 40 tops, unless they start breaking this rule a lot more often and releasing 2 character trailers every week. That said, today it's all about a now confirmed second version of Ichigo. So they're calling this version Ichigo Bankai. To be very clear, the previous Ichigo also has Bankai, but I believe this one starts in Bankai. Let's see if we can learn a little bit more about this character, Tensa Zangetsu. His awakening is probably the mask, right? And then a reawakening for Vassal Lord. Let's see. Yeah, he starts with Bankai, straight up. Getsuga Tensho's signature move. He just does that. That's free, by the way. Signature moves are free. Getsuga Oro, we're gonna read what that does soon. And these are all the moves that we get. Doesn't mean he doesn't have more. Here's his awakening. Sweet. We'll also read that. We see an awakened Ulquiorra. Ulquiorra has a reawakening. And this Ichigo, of course. Of course he also does. This is the heaviest soundtrack we've had so far. That's a crazy shot too. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a very easy to pick up and play character. He's just gonna have a very complete moveset. Because this is one of those characters that everyone's gonna want to play. So I don't think he'll have any crazy gimmicks. He'll just be very solid. And it starts right here with a signature move, Getsuga Tensho. Long range attack that can improve its damage by holding the input. So yeah, it's basically a projectile, but you can hold down the button and it becomes stronger. Because it's a signature move and not a spiritual pressure move, it does not cost them any meter at all. It's just something you can do. Free projectiles, bro. Spiritual pressure move 2. See how they skip spiritual pressure move 1? He's got 2 of them, but because this is one of those characters that has a reawakening, they only show you one of his abilities. They've done this in the past as well. Getsuga Aura, when activated, a special gauge will be acquired, and Ichigo enters a state with reinforced attacks. The gauge of Getsuga Aura decreases by using skills and receiving attacks. Okay, so he's gonna gain another meter, and while that meter lasts, you're probably gonna see his sword shining, as you can see here, and his moves are just buffed. That said, if he uses skills or if he gets hit, that aura is gonna go away. Yeah, it's like a pretty straightforward ability. Buff yourself, and now moves are stronger. Let's see if there's anything unique about his awakening. Ichigo activates his Hollowfication, increasing overall performance. The amount of spiritual power acquired slightly increases, only slightly, allowing Ichigo to make the most out of his spiritual pressure moves. Okay, I'm not seeing anything super unique here. Increasing his overall performance could mean many things, right? It can mean that he's dealing more damage. It can mean that he's faster. It can mean both. It can mean a ton of different things. One of the things he gets for sure, though, is a slight buff to his meter. So he gets more spiritual pressure, which means he can use more spiritual pressure moves. We only know one spiritual pressure move, so that's not super impressive right now. If we knew his entire moveset, maybe at that point we would be a little bit more impressed. I do love this move that he does right here. I believe we've seen it in the previous trailer as well. This seems a preset set of slashes into a teleporting projectile. I wouldn't be surprised if this is just one of his special skills, one of his spiritual pressure moves. And then we have his reawakening. So far, we haven't had any description for reawakenings. So other than the character looking cooler, we guess we don't know what it actually does in game. But it probably gives him, you know, a completely new moveset. This finishing animation here, it could just be his kick-on move. So like the cinematic super that he does when he's about to take some stocks off of the opponent. And then we have the character summary. Diverse and stable action with wild, high-powered attacks while in full Hollowfication. Yeah, I'm expecting this Ichigo to go kinda nuts if you reach the reawakening. The character seems very, very basic from the stuff they described. That said, they mostly described the base character as well as the awakened character. So full Hollow, I'm expecting him to go absolutely nuts. If he doesn't, well, unfortunately, the character is going to be boring. But that's just what I think of it. Let's see where you guys are at. To be fair, Ulquiorra's preferred method of attack is thrusting. It's what he does. So this is in reply to me saying that I think Ulquiorra's thrusting attacks look lame. And I agree, yeah, it's manga accurate, it's lore accurate. It's still lame. You don't have to agree, it's fine. But in general, I prefer when you have a sword that you have a mix of slashes and stabby moves. When you're just doing stab, 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 and you're not really a fencer, it just feels like you don't know how to use a sword. And if that's lore accurate to Ulquiorra, that's fine. I mean, this game's been pretty good at staying faithful to the source material, so I wouldn't expect anything else. But just because something is faithful doesn't mean it's cool. I think there is more signature move for Ulquiorra than this, but I think they just showed just Zero and instant regeneration. I refuse to believe Ulquiorra Ulquiorra is just 2 moves. No. You can chill. He's definitely more than 2 moves. Every character has a signature move, 2 spiritual pressure moves, 2 reverse actions, and that is just one character. Like, once they go into awakening, usually all of these change, or some of them at least. And because Ulquiorra also has a reawakening, I guess all of these are going to change again. So we got 5 moves for base, plus another potential 5 for awakening, plus another potential 5 for reawakening. It's just the trailers don't cover the entire moveset. So yeah, you're not wrong, and you can rest assured, it's fine. He definitely has more stuff. I will say though, so far they've been pretty good at showing the character's gimmick. So Ulquiorra's gimmick will probably be all about spamming Zero and healing himself. The other move might be something that complements that playstyle, or a move that is a little bit more basic and doesn't really define the character. So I wouldn't expect anything too crazy to show up beyond that, unless we're talking about reawakenings, because in that case they really haven't shown anything yet. Other than, you know, animations. They just haven't explained what they do gameplay-wise. Ulquiorra having a healing move gives me hope for Orihime being playable. I think we can chill, honestly. If the roster is between 30 and 40 characters, you know, because if we count the number of weeks that we have left until early 2025, that's where the roster puts us. My prediction, I'll say it again, is 35 characters. And with a roster that size, Orihime is playable. I think we can relax. And you don't have to take my word for it. This is not based on vibes. It's based on the entire history of Bleach games. She's always there. So yeah, I think we can chill. I think she's one of the most obvious characters to make it. I don't even think she's a hot take. God, I hope I don't live to regret these words. My guess is next week's reveal will either be Tozen or Ikkaku, but thinking logically, since they're going this person fights this person way, Tozen makes more sense. Well, about that. At this point, I think all the predictions are out the window. I did enjoy week to week seeing people like trying to logic out who the next character trailer was gonna be, but this one was just like, whoa, already? Okay. Now, to be fair, maybe this is because TGS happened, Tokyo Game Show. That's a pretty big event, and maybe they wanted to have a big reveal for that. So maybe this breaks the rule, but doesn't really mean that your whole predictions are out the window. I guess we'll know next week if they go back to having a reveal that makes some sort of sense. Because otherwise, it's just random, guys. Call it GG's. You're not going to predict the next character, ever. But since they are revealing characters every single week, I always take 3 to 4 comments and just to see where you guys are at. For this one, I actually had to go back to the 3 previous videos because it was a little bit scuffed with the way we got trailers this week. But yeah, if you have any thoughts or a theory that you'd like to share, leave it in the comments below. Your comment might get picked. And if you've missed the last character reveal, it was Ulquiorra. He actually also got officially revealed today, but he leaked last week, so that's when we reacted to it. Thank you for watching. Bye.